Hi friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. My name's Jonathan. I make luxury videos, unboxings, and reviews. And today I have a very special video. It is my very first Q&A, so let's get into it. Before I get started with today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help my channel grow. I make videos every Friday as well as shorts every other day. So if you like that kind of content or simply want to see more of me, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. So I had put up a community post on my YouTube asking you guys to give me some questions, and I got some really great ones from Mandy, Pamela, and Jean. So I will go ahead and answer those now, starting off with Mandy. So Mandy asks, as her first question, do you plan to add to your Louis Bear collection? So currently I have two Louis Bears in my collection right now. I have the Supervision one as well as I have the one from the ski collection. Honestly speaking, I do and I don't. I don't really want to add anymore just because I've mentioned these are very, very expensive pieces. However, they have been coming out with some really cute ones. I know that there is a football one coming out, and my dad is a very huge football fan. So I was thinking about possibly adding that one into my collection just so that way I have a Louis Bear that represents him. But I don't know. We're going to think about it depending on the price point. I know these increase as well. So right now they're about $2,000. Don't know how much of a leeway I will give for those. So definitely a maybe for that one. The next question that Mandy asked is, what is your unicorn bag? And that is a very great question. Let me go and grab her quickly. So this is my unicorn bag. I got it from the fall winter 2022 men's collection. And honestly, when I saw this bag, I instantly had to pick it up. I just thought that this was a very playful idea that Louis Vuitton was creating, and is one of Virgil Abloh's collections, so it was definitely going to be a collector's piece. And to be honest, the attention to detail on this bag is just impeccable. And I honestly, a lot of the new Louis Vuitton bags that are coming out that are like dog shape or like dolphins or like even that lobster bag was chef's kiss. Honestly, I think this is my current unicorn bag, but there's nothing stopping me, I don't think, from adding more like these in the future. And the last question that Mandy asked is, what are your bag goals for 2026? And to be honest, I thought about it and I don't necessarily know if I have any bag goals for 2026. 2024 and 2025 were the years that I really started to curate my collection and move it into a direction that I wanted to go in. In previous years, I was just so tunnel vision as to like collecting as many things as possible. However, in 2024, I really started to curate it, and that's why I started to pick up more pocket organizers, more limited edition bags, stuff that will fit more of my style and aesthetic. So I don't necessarily know if 2026 I have any specific bag goals, just because I'm very happy with where my collection is at right now. So right now I'm going to say that I currently don't, but obviously this is the purse community. We do change our goals quite frequently, so who knows if that'll change soon. The next set of questions comes from a new friend of mine named Pamela. Hi, Pamela. Thank you so much for these questions. The first question she asks is, how do you stay on top of your LV collection, and any tips on how to be successful with pre-orders? This is a very good question, and to be honest, I have an inventory system for my luxury collection, so I keep it tracked on an Excel spreadsheet. I know it sounds super nerdy, but anytime that I make a purchase or I receive something of value that is a value that I consider luxury, I will put it onto this spreadsheet so I'm able to track it. And it's broken down into different categories such as like handbags, SLGs, textiles, shoes, those kind of things. So that's how I maintain that. So if I ever were to purchase something, or if my collection were ever to get so big that I wasn't able to figure out if I had that style of handbag or not, I could always reference my Excel spreadsheet. However, to stay on top of your pre-orders, what I usually do is just have a really good sales associate, and she sends me a lot of these lookbooks in advance, and we just constantly talk regularly about upcoming collections. So for example, she told me that in the springtime there's going to be more of those sports time pocket organizers, and there's going to be a lot of more floral collections that are coming out. So we just have those like open dialogues, and it just make mental notes of those. And then I obviously follow a lot of those Instagram accounts where they post leaks of future collections. So I also follow those. So it's a conglomerate of different things that help me stay on top of my collection as well as the pre-orders. The next question that Pamela asks is, how do you recommend starting and maintaining a relationship with your SA? And should you have more than one? So that is a very great question. In recent events, I have now started to shop with more than one client advisor. However, previously I was only shopping with one. I would suggest building a relationship with one client advisor first that you have a really good relationship with, that you mend well with, that is really going to look out for you in terms of getting the items that you are looking for, and will also help you curate your collection. One thing that I really love about my online client advisor, who I shop regularly with, is she does not give me any pressure onto purchasing. She'll send me a lot of lookbooks and items that she thinks that I might be interested in. However, she does not get upset if I decline them. Obviously, we can't afford everything. I do have to be a little bit picky when it comes to adding things into my collection. So she's definitely understanding for that, as well as she starts to understand my taste and starts to recommend things that like I absolutely love. So I would definitely start with working with one client advisor. And then once you got into a really good relationship with that client advisor, you can introduce another one at a different location or a different store. So that way you have multiple people trying to source these items for you if you're looking to get specific pieces. So the next two questions that Pamela asks is, have you been to any LV events, and have you been to LV in France? So to answer the first one, yes or no. The event that I went to was just a pop-up location in Toronto. So I don't necessarily know if that is considered a Louis Vuitton event. I personally have not been invited to go to one, but I have been to a pop-up event that they've hosted. So I don't know if that technically counts, but take that with what you will. And then, have I been to LV in France? I have, and it unfortunately was a very, very short shopping trip. I went to the Champs-Élysées and I picked up a tie. That was my very first time going to France, so I obviously had to stop by the Louis Vuitton store, and quite literally, the trip that we took to France only gave me enough time to stop at the Louis Vuitton store because we were on a cruise. So I definitely do plan on going back and doing a little bit more extensive shopping. Maybe I'll do it this year, maybe next year, who knows? But France is definitely on my wish list, and I definitely do want to spend a little bit more time there. And last but not least, Jean from Totes Jean gave me some questions, and his first one was, what was your worst purchase? And it's going to be no surprise, it is the Louis Vuitton high-rise bum bag in the white multicolor. I absolutely really regret purchasing that bag, and for the price point that it is, I realistically need to figure out what to do with it, just because it can't just be a vanity bag. It is honestly a bag that I am not going to use. I do have a lot of bags in my collection that I consider collector's items, but I do use them on special occasions. So for example, my paint can bag, it is definitely a collector's piece and I don't wear it regularly. However, if I have a very special occasion or event, I will pull that bag out, and it is one of those bags that gets me a lot of compliments. So for the high-rise bum bag, it is a purchase regret of mine just because I don't even see myself trying to take it out for special occasions. What was your best purchase or purchases is Jean's next question. And honestly, I have quite a few. So one of my best purchases is going to be my Palm Springs mini backpack. I absolutely love the versatility of that bag. It honestly packs a punch and just fits all of my essentials. It's very versatile. I can use it in a multitude of ways. And I just find it a very convenient grab and go bag if I'm just going out for quick errands. Another purchase that I absolutely love is my Speedy 30 bandolier. Honestly, that bag is probably my best work bag that I could have purchased. I just love how durable it is. I love how carefree it is because it is in the Damier Ebene print, and it just fits all of my daily work essentials. So I have quite a few best purchases. I'm not going to go ahead and list them all because we'll be here till the cows come home, as Minnie would say, but there are quite a few that I've had. So moving on to Jean's third question, which is, what are you hunting for? And this is a really, really good question. And there are two bag silhouettes that I'm looking to possibly add to my collection in 2026. and that is going to be a trunk style bag as well as a P9. So full disclosure, I have been offered a P9. However, I had to turn it down just because it was during the holiday season and the Murakami launch that I spent more than I needed to during those collections. So I didn't have the funds readily available for that P9. So hopefully I get offered it again soon. So that is what I'm hunting for. And then the other thing is a trunk style bag. So I'm really looking to add a trunk into my collection, whether it be a mini side trunk or a slim trunk. Mandy and I were talking about it the other day as to which trunk styles we like best. But it's definitely one of those things that I think it's time for me to add into my collection, just being the Louis Vuitton connoisseur that I am. Because they are famous for their trunks, I should have one in my collection. So those are the two items that I'm currently on the hunt for. And the last question that Jean asked is, what other brands do you like and would you buy from? So there's two brands that I'm starting to dip my toes into, and that is going to be Goyard and Frère Lepage. So I've always watched YouTube videos on these two brands. However, these are two designers that are not located in my city or country. So it's very difficult for me to get my hands on them. However, recently I have traveled to New York City and was able to purchase my very first Goyard bag. So I absolutely love it, and I'm hoping that I'm able to add a little bit more into my collection. And then in recent events, I purchased my very first Frère Lepage piece, and I have absolutely been loving it. Once I got it, I moved all my stuff into it and just started to use it right away. It actually has been pretty good for the most part. So I have been looking at potentially getting a bag from Frère Lepage, and I have been looking at other styles from Goyard as well. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed today's video. This was a super fun Q&A, and I really do appreciate Jean, Mandy, and Pamela for giving me all these fun questions. I hope you got the answers that you were looking for. And with that being said, if you like my kind of content, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.